The Vikings were a civilization that existed most notably between the late 8th century and until the late 11th century, although today it is seen as more of a term for describing those who come from the area in which the Vikings originated, which mainly consisted of Norway, Sweden and Denmark. The people on a whole would lead relatively simple lives and would tend to work the lands, and to those on the outside would seem behind the times with the technologies that they used to do this. And what was considered by most a very pagan religion, but this is not what they were famous for. What they are remembered for, even to this day, was their exceptional skill as both warriors and seafarers. As warriors, they were feared as they were not an organised army as the French and English, as well as others, were used to fighting against, and they did not fight in a manner that they would have expected either. The Vikings took full advantage of their ships to attack from the coast in lightning-quick raids. Along with the speed of these attacks came a ferocity which was nearly unparalleled or unseen before, and a distinct lack of fear for death, which many believe was due to them seeing death in battle as the only honourable way in which they could die. The ships they used in these attacks were known as longships, and they were far ahead of what any others were making at this point. They were one of very few civilizations that could travel great distances over open oceans, and some of their techniques in shipbuilding are still used today. One of their famous ships, the Gokstad ship, which dates from 890 AD and was rediscovered in 1880 in a burial mound at Gokstad Farm. Today it is a museum piece, and it is an outstanding example of their shipbuilding abilities. Constructed mainly from oak, it measures at 78 feet in length and nearly 17 feet wide, and it is the largest ship in the Viking Ship Museum in Oslo. Their abilities in battle and on the sea could be seen as coming from their beliefs that half of those who died in battle would be taken by the Valkyries to Valhalla, which was a great hall in Asgard, where many who died in battle would meet again and take their place alongside legendary warriors and kings, as well as many of the gods. The god who presided over this hall was Odin, and he gathered these warriors in preparation for Ragnarok, which was their version of the apocalypse. Odin was not the only god in Norse mythology, but he was the leader of these gods, and he was the primary god prayed to in times of war. As a result, he is often depicted in armour. The most well-known outside of Odin, as a result in part due to the Marvel comics as well as their films, was Thor. He wielded a hammer known as Mjolnir and was the god of thunder, as well as many other things. Outside of the comics, Thor is referred to quite a lot, and it is where the word Thursday is thought to have originated from. Loki is another very well-known god within Norse mythology, but his portrayal within the comics and films isn't necessarily quite accurate to what Norse mythology says. Although there are many different versions of him in Norse mythology, the common thread does seem to be that he was a trickster god who liked to cause mischief and trouble among the other gods. There were many other important gods, for example the twins Frey and Freya. It is Freya's field where the other half of those who die in battle are sent. She is also seen as the goddess of love and sexuality. It is her brother Frey who is considered one of the most important of these gods, and is attributed as the god of virility and prosperity, and is also seen as an ancestor to the Swedish royal house. Whether or not it is these beliefs that made the Vikings who they are, we may never know, but one thing we know for sure is it is one of the many aspects of their culture that make them an interesting civilization to study.